Alright everyone, welcome back into another props video, touching on the top props for Underdog and PrizePicks this Friday. But first, just a quick recap from yesterday. Well, I'm recording it Thursday evening, so for today, WNBA, this was so tilting because the line got up to about a 57% chance to hit for Dewana. She ends up going like 3 for 10 from 3-ball range. Good shot attempt on Mountain, but just cold night shooting for her. Chris Bassett did get his over-hitting or pitcher strikeouts at 5. Those were the two best ones that we were getting on the day. At the time of placing them, 54% chance to hit. Now, that being said, it was a pretty darn good day for esports. This was a 3-leg bet that I called out specifically on the video that I'd be running out. So hopefully you guys were able to use that. Now, I did say, place it on PrizePicks, placed on Underdog, placed it on PrizePicks, as well, which thankfully it hit on Underdog because we do get a full unit more for the payout on Underdog. We're going to have a couple of those situations again today, so we'll be touching on that in this video as well. So obviously I'm recording this video much earlier and I'm uploading it much earlier than I typically do. The only MLB props that I have right now are going to be hitting fantasy score props. Let's get into why real quick. So my wife and I are expecting our first born child tomorrow or over the weekend. Okay, so chances are I won't be able to do another video for quite some time, at least until Tuesday at the very earliest. So I want to get this video out to you guys, but I also want to let you know that I know a lot of people in the comment section, I took 2 days off 2 months ago, and a lot of people were asking questions where I was at. So I want to let you guys know that I'm excited for it, but also I'm gonna miss betting on the props as well. So just wanted to give you guys that FY. But yes, looking at the MLB props for today, I love that we have a fully populated board for MLB based props. The issue with that is that we're not getting all the sportsbook odds in there just yet as well. Really the only one that we're getting right now is gonna be Paul Goldschmidt, and that's actually looking like a good one that we should be on. Like, all right, chances are that'll change throughout the day, but it's nice to see that one's popping up. And then the rest of these, I would imagine that we're just not getting a full data set going into those. So probably a wait and see approach. I'm going to take more of a tactical approach with that today. And so let's look at it. Which games do we want to be targeting? Okay, maybe this one, but probably want to start at maybe the Giants versus Washington, 9.5 run total there. We also had the Mets versus Boston, 9.5 run total there. And then this game, we do want to be attacking the Reds versus the Diamondbacks. But look at this. De La Cruz is one of the players that is always popping up as an under bet that we should be making. He's like one of the very few players that is consistently popping up on there. So that's my worry with this game, is that one, we have him. Then the next one would be Corbin Carroll. If you guys haven't looked at the highlight for Corbin Carroll, he got to third base on a strikeout. I believe that was today. Had himself a really good game. 8.5. I mean, those are a lot. We are getting a adjustment for the hitting fantasy score there with him because of that. Okay, and then on the other side of that game, Marte is actually one I don't mind. Like, if we are trying to game stack that game, I actually don't mind the idea of running him out for an over hitting fantasy score prop. Then we continue on. What other games do we potentially want to be targeting? Maybe this one, 9.5 run total there, but that's it. I mean, we don't have that many great games, and we could see maybe the potential for the Milwaukee Brewers. We know Christian Yelich has been hot, but let's just talk about some of those players that have been playing, well recently. Trey Turner is someone that's been a little bit hit or miss, but if he gets on base, he is someone that can easily get a steal, which obviously that is something that is pretty intriguing when it comes to fantasy production. Christian Yelich has been someone that has been on a hot streak as well. We can see 26, 7, which not terrible, almost got there. 2, 25, and 14. Not a terrible matchup there as well. So he's another one where I'm excited to see where the line is at. And if you guys haven't yet, make sure to be checking out this update as it updates throughout the morning, throughout the night. If you guys aren't members yet, obviously you can sign up. Just $10 a month. Gives you access to that cheat sheet and all the fancy golf stuff as well. Cody Bellinger, I feel like he is Lori marketing this season, where PrizePicks just hasn't adjusted their points up enough for him on a per game basis. And that's when he is available. Let's make that clear, because they don't really make him available too much with the hitting fantasy score. But when he is available, typically seems to be a low number. And then Kyle Tucker has been someone that has been hot really over the last 7 days as well. When he's gotten the over, he's kind of crushed it. Now that is a game that we probably don't want to be targeting. That's why I didn't really mention it, but that's probably why we're also getting a lower number for him. Obviously, Atone has just been crushing it as well. It's tough to say what to do with him. If you guys want to roll with him, by all means, you certainly could roll with the hot end there. 9 points is a lot. And then if you were trying to maybe run out a stack for that Dodgers game, I don't mind the idea of Marcus Semien here. He's someone that should be a decent one. Mookie Betts has been someone that has been in a slump as well. He's getting on base, not getting runs, not getting steals, not getting multiple hits, not getting RBIs. They're just not coming together all for him. just a little bit of a slump in terms of hitting fantasy production. I wouldn't say it feels more fluky is what I would say. So in the potential for us to maybe run out a small game stack in that game, because it's an 9.5 run total, there is some sort of opportunity there. 8 points, not too much there. And then just real quickly, just touching on some PGA props as well. I'm not exactly sure kind of the night crowd here. If you guys are the night crowd, the night owls watching this video, make sure to give a thumbs up, because a lot of the props I'm going to touch on are going to be kind of looking at maybe a little bit more of the AM ones. I do want to call it that I already got in on Jon Rahm at 71.5 strokes. Now the line is set at 71. Probably staying away from that one now. I do want to be targeting the unders more so for the golfers that have the earliest AMT times, because the weather's going to be a little bit better. We did see, and I'll show you guys this, we did see that there was a slight scoring difference between the early tee times and the late tee times. Now this is going to be these guys, the late tee times going into today, I guess, over there, they're the ones that were easy. It was easier to score for them. So my assumption is that's going to be easier to score on the early tee times again. So we probably want to be attacking more the unders for the AM, and maybe if we like any overs, be attacking the overs for the PM players. So if we go ahead and pull up the 9 to 5 cheat sheet for golf, let's find where we're getting some discrepancies, because by doing this, we actually had a pretty solid day yesterday collectively as a whole, just by hitting a few slips here and there. And shout out to Tommy Fleetwood for getting the first round lead. That was fun. Corey Connors at 72.5 is a very interesting one. If we go into the leader or the showdown tab here, going to round 2, and I go by showdown rank, Connors is not a bad one, coming in as the 21st best round 2 showdown play. And if you guys are unfamiliar with what I'm saying there, it's just a DFS contest. Obviously DFS, you're trying to make your best lineup possible. And so the purpose of calling something out like that is that probably a little bit too high of a number for Corey Connors. Now, we didn't have the best round 1, but he wasn't terrible as well. Some of that is expected to improve. And then same thing with Colin Morikawa. Kind of got unlucky in some certain situations. Did seem to be a little bit more comfortable with the golf course. But those are both 2 ones where, yeah, I guess it wouldn't be surprising to see Corey Connors shoot 1 over par, or to see Colin Morikawa shoot 1 over par. They had the desirable AMT time, but we could potentially find a stack there where we're running out, multiple slips. Now, I do want to point out on PrizePicks, they do reduce the payout when you add more slips in there. So that's kind of the caution against that. And then some other ones that I like Victor Hovland, I think he has a great chance to shoot even par. So there's a chance that this could be a push on Underdog. And that's actually kind of what I like here as well, is that we are getting a lot of push opportunities on Underdog. Not terrible in that regard. And I was hoping we would get a little bit better number on Jordan Spieth, who had a really good day 1. I expect him in the day to kind of expect him to have a worse day. So 1 over par is not out of the equation. He does have the PMT time. And so that's a prop bet that, when you guys are going through watching this video, whenever you're watching it, potentially someone we could bet maybe the over strokes on Underdog there. But really where it seems like we are getting the biggest prop line difference is going to be in these birdie or better ones. Okay. A lot of them are suggesting that we should bet the over, but I do want to call it the edge for these birdie or better ones, which is right here. This is the PrizePick edge. Very tight, as we can see, right? And very tight for Underdog as well. So there's not that big of an edge, but collectively, I would say the fact that we are getting a clear distinction, there is an edge. So like Terrell Hatton, one of the best round 2 showdown plays, I like the idea of betting the over birdies for him. 3 is not that many for a guy like him. And then we could pair that maybe with a Corey Connors prop, maybe with a Victor Hovland prop, which I probably like a little bit more. Then you could also run it back equally then on Underdog. The goal, obviously, when a unit profit, if you guys do a 3-leg bet, profit 4 units. Those are ideas that I don't mind. I like that strategy, especially when it comes to golf, where you're more or less betting on how the course is going to play, how the weather is going to treat the course as well. And then for what it's worth, just sorting by potential birdie or better matchups where we are getting an edge. Jon Rahm versus Victor Hovland. I'm probably not touching that. Same thing with this one. I would rather actually bet Terrell Hatton to have more birdies than Max Homa. So I'm going to go away from the data there. And then just real quickly, touching on some esports props, because yesterday I showed you guys it was pretty awesome just with the amount of like small discrepancies that we had that obviously adds up. It was nice to see them all hit. Not going to happen every time. That is very much a long-term type of bet that I've been making with these esports props that I've been recommending with you guys, where yes, in the long term, these big differences that we are seeing are going to add up, and they're going to result in some sort of really good hit. A 3-leg bet hitting, a 4-leg bet hitting, a 5-leg bet hitting. I would suggest if you guys are making those specific prop bets, choose which one you're going to be consistently betting. Now, yes, the board determines part of that, but just have a plan of action in place if you guys are choosing to make these prop bets with little knowledge on the esports like I have as well. Full disclosure there. But we can see this one with impact is going to be a good line. Okay. We could easily bet the under on PrizePicks, and then we could bet the over on Underdog. 0.5 difference at 2 kills and 1.5 kills. That is big. And we also have some other ones here that are decent, but what we would probably want to do is flip this around and go with this one, which is going to be our next best one. You know, almost a 5% difference. That's good enough. And then just looking at where we are getting the biggest prop line differences, nothing too crazy. Only 1.5 is the biggest prop line difference that we're seeing tomorrow/tonight for esports. All right, and then getting into the bet of the day for today thus far, looking at this is the only good hitting fantasy score prop that we have available, just based off of the sportsbook odds just not being fully updated as I'm doing this video. And then looking at these three right here, I just want to directly call these out. I like these because we can also bet the opposite of those lines on Underdog. We can bet the more, less, and more for those three. Okay, that's the appeal there. I will say we have Terrell Hatton in a birdie or better matchup against Joaquin Neiman that I think he has a good chance to beat him in. I just don't like the fact that we can't run that back on Underdog. That's kind of where we're at right now with esports, with the lines being tighter and not coming out as fast. Like PGA, I would have loved to have gotten this video out a little bit earlier. No NBA right now, no NFL right now. So we're kind of forced into more EV-based bets, which is not bad. It's just more of a long-term approach, which is not a bad idea as well. But that's going to be all for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the coverage. If you did, you know what to do. Make sure to give a like and subscribe. Let's have a good slate. And as always, let's keep cashing. If you guys want access to that cheat sheet to the data, just click the link in the description below. It is available for just $10 a month. All right, let's have a good slate. And as always, let's keep cashing.